Hi Maria, I just wanted to go over the interval question that you had asked me previously with a little video here. So I'm going to first start off with terminology. Again, to augment something is to make something bigger, to minor something is to make it smaller, to diminish it is to make it smaller again. The first thing that I'm going to do is give an example of G major. So right here, we have regular G major, major third interval. Because it is a third, it's a major interval. Okay, so if we make a major interval bigger, we're going to, in this first example, deal with the top note. We're going to raise it, and we're going to call that the ceiling, okay? And we talked about the ceiling and the floor before. So we're going to raise the ceiling to a B sharp. That makes this example augmented third, making it bigger. Now we're going to take that G and B and we're going to lower the ceiling, and we're going to turn that major interval down to a minor. We're going to make that ceiling go lower, and that becomes a minor third. And with a major interval, we can then take one extra step and go down to a diminished, and that is when we make a double flat. So we're really lowering the ceiling here. Okay, now you asked about the bottom. How do I lower the bottom? And I'm calling that the floor. Okay, so here's where we started again, a G and a B. And I'm going to lower the floor. I'm going to come down even lower. I'm going to make that bigger interval. And I'm going to call that, because it's augmented, I've lowered it, made it bigger. What was to make bigger again? Augmented. So now that becomes an augmented third. I can show you on the piano. Here is the G and the B, and I'm going to make the G a G flat. Well, then I've made that interval bigger. I widened it, made it bigger. So that's the augmented third. I'm going to go back to the major third again, G and B, and now I'm going to raise the floor. Okay, I'm raising the floor. I'm going to make this interval smaller. I'm going to squish it together. I'm going to bring the floor up. And here it is again, G and B, and I'm going to raise that now, the bottom note, to a G sharp, and that'll become a minor third. And I can even raise that G sharp to a G double sharp and make this a diminished third by doing that, making it smaller, diminished. What was diminished again? To make smaller again. Here's the problem when you're given this and you're asked what is the interval. There's no such thing as a G double sharp scale. There's no such thing as G sharp scale. How in the world am I going to find out, if it's the reverse question, the answer of diminished third or minor third? Well, you're going to have to go back to what you do know. First of all, the math of the third, and then you're going to have to find a scale that has that. And think about this question. How many semitones are in a major third? And the answer is there's 4 semitones in a major third. So once we get the major third worked out with using semitones, we can then, okay, so a major third is here, but I've made it smaller. Oh, this must be a minor third. Okay, this is a major third, but I made it smaller by 2. Okay, it's a diminished third. So sometimes you're right, the bottom note isn't our friend when we go into scales that don't exist, like G double sharp and G sharp. There's no such scale. There is a scale called G flat major. So this one we could figure out because there is a scale called G flat major. There it is there with the 6 flats. I've got, a B natural there. So obviously I raised that ceiling. Oh, it's an augmented third. So you could figure that one out, but it's not easy when it's this. So I hope this helps. And to me, this is where I'm going to be going. I'm going to be asking about semitones, and that's how you'll be able to find your intervals. But for now, you've got to learn out how this bottom note affects the interval's name, okay? So make sure you get the math first, make sure you get that number correct no matter what, and then we need to work on that address. If there's ever a confusion, we can go back to semitones, okay? So I hope that helps, and we'll go over this again at your lesson. Have a great week!